There comes a moment in life that feels like a punch to the chest. You look at your phone, no messages. You look around your life, no one is moving toward your dream. And suddenly it hits you. No one is coming. No one is going to save you. No one is going to believe in your vision before it works. No one is going to push you when you are exhausted. And if you fall, you will fall alone. For most people, this moment breaks them. They feel abandoned. They feel unlucky. They ask, why me? But for a rare few, this moment is not the end. It is the beginning. If you're watching this, it's because you already feel it. You carry an ambition no one around you understands. You're tired of explaining yourself to people who never listen. You're tired of waiting for approval, help, or support. So let me tell you the truth. Waiting is the real trap. The biggest lie you were taught. When you were young, no one told you directly that you should depend on others. They didn't need to. They trained you slowly. In school, you were told to work in groups. If you tried to do everything alone, the teacher said you were not a team player. You learned early that standing alone was risky. In religion, you were taught to belong, to stay close to the group, to believe that safety came from being surrounded by others who thought the same way. In society, you were told to network, to shake hands, to smile, to be liked, to make connections, because connections open doors. Over time, a quiet belief settled into your mind. Success comes from others lifting you up. You heard the sentence so many times it started to sound like truth. It's not what you know, it's who you know. At first, it sounds smart. It sounds realistic. It sounds like advice from someone experienced. But look deeper. That sentence teaches you something dangerous. It teaches you that you are not enough on your own. The moment you accept that idea, you hand control of your future to people who are not living your life. You start waiting. Waiting for approval. Waiting for help. Waiting for someone to notice you. But people do not wake up thinking about your dreams. They wake up thinking about their own bills, their own fears, their own comfort. They act in their interest, not yours. This is not cruelty. This is human nature. Machiavelli understood this long before social media, long before modern business. He warned that a strong person should rely on what he can control, not on promises, favors, or goodwill. Because support is never free. When someone helps you, there is an invisible string attached. When someone invests in you, they expect influence. When someone supports you emotionally, they can withdraw it the moment you no longer serve their comfort. What feels like a safety net slowly becomes a cage. You hesitate to act boldly because you don't want to disappoint. You soften your vision so others feel comfortable. You delay decisions because you're waiting for agreement. And then you ask yourself why you're stuck. Here is the uncomfortable truth. You did not fail because no one helped you. You stalled because you kept looking for help. Every time you waited for encouragement, momentum died. Every time you explained your vision, it lost power. Every time you asked for permission, you gave up authority. The biggest lie you were taught was not about money or success. It was this, that you need others before you are allowed to move. You don't. And the moment you stop believing that lie, something dangerous wakes up inside you. The 0 point. There is a moment most people never forget. It doesn't arrive with noise. There is no warning, no dramatic music. It usually happens late at night. You check your bank account, you scroll through your contacts, you think about who you could call if everything collapsed tomorrow, and the answer is uncomfortable. No one, no backup plan, no rescue, no safety rope, just you. For most people, this moment is terrifying. Their chest tightens, their thoughts spiral, they feel small, exposed, and unlucky. They think, how did I end up here? This is where many people break. They fall into sadness, they blame the world, they convince themselves they were never meant for more. But this moment has another meaning. Almost no one sees it. This moment is called the 0 point. The 0 point is when everything external disappears. No support, no guarantees, no one to lean on, only your mind, your body, and your will. Most people panic here because they were trained to fear emptiness. But emptiness is not always loss. Sometimes it is freedom. Think about it. If no one is supporting you, no one is controlling you. If no one helped you climb, no one can tell you how to stand. If no one invested in you, no one owns a piece of your future. At the 0 point, you have nothing to lose, and that makes you dangerous. Being alone is not weakness, it is leverage. When you are supported, you must move carefully. When you are alone, you can move fast. No meetings, no explanations, no compromises. History was not written by groups arguing in rooms. It was written by individuals who stopped waiting for approval. People who reached the 0 point and didn't run back to comfort. They looked at the empty space and said, "Good, now I can build exactly what I want." The 0 point strips away illusions. You stop pretending someone is coming. You stop hoping someone will notice. You stop delaying action. You realize the only thing standing between you and the future is you. This is where clarity appears. Your excuses die. Your entitlement fades. Your focus sharpens. When there is no one to save you, you save yourself. And once you survive the 0 point, something changes forever. You no longer fear being alone, because you know the truth. If you built yourself from nothing once, you can do it again. Stop wanting to be load. Most people don't realize what they're really asking for when they look for support. They think they want help, but deep down, what they want is approval. They want someone to say, "That's a good idea. I believe in you. You're doing the right thing." They want applause before results. This desire feels innocent, human, normal, but it's dangerous. Because the moment you need approval, you give other people power over your direction. You start adjusting your vision so it sounds acceptable. You explain instead of acting. You hesitate instead of moving. People feel this need, even if they don't understand it. And something strange happens. The more you want them to believe, the less they do. Neediness has a smell. It doesn't matter how smart you are or how hard you work. People sense it, and they step back, not because they are evil, but because power does not move toward desperation. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how confident, quiet people draw attention without trying? They don't explain, they don't chase, they don't beg, they act, and results speak for them. When you try to be loved, you weaken yourself. When you focus on competence, you become solid. Respect is not given for good intentions. It is earned through outcomes. This is why explaining your vision to people who don't understand it hurts so much. They aren't rejecting the idea. They are reacting to your need for them to approve it. Instead of feeling wounded, use this. If they don't believe in you, that means the field is open. If they don't help you, that means you keep full control. Indifference is not an insult. It is information. It tells you where you stand and frees you from expectations. When you stop trying to be liked, something shifts inside you. Your energy stops leaking. Your focus sharpens. Your decisions become faster. You no longer work to impress. You work to win. And here's the paradox. The moment you stop craving belief, belief starts to appear. Not because you asked for it, but because people respect what stands on its own. Let their doubt harden you. Let their silence train you. Stop wanting to be loved. Become undeniable. The ghost face. When you finally accept that no one is supporting you, something important must happen. You stop performing. You stop announcing. You stop explaining. You stop trying to be seen. You disappear. This is not weakness. This is strategy. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they talk too much. They get an idea and immediately tell someone, a friend, a family member, a partner. The response is almost always the same. That sounds risky. Are you sure? That's going to be hard. The doubt enters quietly. And even worse, your brain already received a reward just for talking. It feels like progress even though nothing was done. So the fire fades. The ghost does not make this mistake. The ghost tells no one, no big announcements, no coming soon posts, no long explanations. Silence builds pressure. When you hold a goal inside and don't release it through words, it stays alive. It grows, it becomes heavy. That pressure turns into energy, restlessness, anxiety, a need to move. Good. That is fuel. The ghost works when no one is watching. At hours, others are asleep. In rooms no one visits. No audience means no performance. No performance means no wasted energy. Your loneliness becomes focus. Your isolation becomes clarity. You no longer chase motivation. You rely on momentum. This is where obsession is born. The world calls obsession unhealthy, but obsession is simply deep attention without distraction. When you have no support, obsession is not optional. It is the price. You study when others relax. You practice when others scroll. You refine details no one else notices. Slowly, quietly, you become dangerous. Not loud, not flashy, capable. And the best part? No one sees it coming. That is the power of the ghost. The pain they don't talk about. There is something most motivational speeches never mention. Doing this alone hurts, not in a dramatic way, not all at once. It hurts quietly. You wake up and realize no one is asking how it's going. You achieve small wins and have no one to tell. You struggle and there is no shoulder to lean on. At first, you try to ignore it. You tell yourself to be strong, to push harder, to stop feeling, but the pain doesn't disappear. It waits. Eventually, you must face it. You will grieve, not just people, but the future you imagined. You thought someone would cheer for you. You thought your family would understand. You thought friends would grow with you. They didn't. And that realization creates a deep, heavy feeling in the chest. At night, doubts come. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm being unrealistic. Maybe I should stop. This place has a name. It's the wilderness. You have left the comfort of the crowd, but you haven't reached success yet. There is no applause here, no validation, no clear signs you're winning, just silence. And silence forces honesty. You can't go back. You've already seen too much. You know that returning to comfort would cost your future, so something must change. You must become what you were missing. Your own support, your own discipline, your own authority. Inside you, two voices begin to argue. One wants rest, comfort, escape. The other demands movement, work, responsibility. At first, the weak voice is loud, but each day you act anyway, it loses strength. Slowly, the commander takes over, not cruel, but firm, not emotional, but steady. This is not about becoming cold. It's about becoming reliable to yourself. The pain doesn't vanish, but it stops controlling you, and that is when you realize something important. The pain was not sent to break you. It was sent to strip you down, so something stronger could take your place. You in dark energy. Sadness makes you slow. It makes your body heavy. It makes you want to lie down. It makes you replay the same thoughts again and again. Anger is different. Anger moves. This is something most people never learn. When something hurts them, they try to escape the feeling. They distract themselves. They numb it. They scroll. They eat. They drink. They sleep. You must do the opposite. Every rejection you faced, every message that was never answered, every moment someone laughed at your idea, that pain is not useless. It is energy, raw, uncomfortable, powerful. Instead of pushing it away, you bring it close. You say, good, I'll use this. You stop asking, why does this hurt? And start asking, where can I aim this? Loneliness becomes fuel. Frustration becomes focus. You train your mind to connect pain with action. Alone, work harder. Ignored, get sharper. Broke, learn faster. Over time, something changes. Pain no longer paralyzes you. It activates you. Your body learns a new pattern. Discomfort means movement. Pressure means production. This is how machines are built. Not from happiness, not from motivation, from controlled intensity. Others collapse when things go wrong. You accelerate, and once you master this, you realize something important. No one can take your power away, because your fuel doesn't come from praise, it comes from resistance. Est your future or death. Freedom is dangerous if you don't control it. When no one is telling you what to do, it's easy to drift. Wake up late, scroll on your phone, check emails without purpose, work a little, stop a lot. Before you know it, the day is gone. Weeks disappear, opportunities vanish. This is why structure is not optional. It is survival. You need rules. Rules that are not suggestions. Rules that feel like law. Step 1. Win the morning. The first battle every day is against comfort. The alarm goes off. Your body wants rest. Your mind wants distraction. You win by moving. Simple. No negotiation. Step 2. Protect deep work. Focus is your weapon. Turn off the phone. Lock the door. No interruptions, no excuses. Spend hours producing more than most people do in a week. Step 3. Control what enters your mind. Your mind is your only tool when you have zero support. If you fill it with gossip, drama, or meaningless content, your work will suffer. Read strategy, read skill books, read lessons from history. Feed your mind like a warrior feeding his body. Step 4. Review yourself nightly. The day ends, but your work is not over. Look in the mirror. Ask, did I move the needle today, or just make noise? Admit mistakes. Correct them. Be strict with yourself. No excuses. Without this structure, freedom destroys people. They spend their days wandering, waiting, hoping someone shows up. They die in their own softness. You are the boss now, and a good boss is strict. A great boss is relentless. Discipline becomes your skeleton. Focus becomes your heart. Structure becomes your heart. Structure becomes your wings. This is not punishment. This is power. When you master structure, nothing can stop you. Chaos becomes manageable. Loneliness becomes opportunity. Without rules, freedom kills. With rules, freedom makes you unstoppable. Stop walking, start building. Everyone tells you, go network, go make connections, go hand out business cards. It sounds like advice, it sounds necessary, but it's wrong, at least at the start. When you have nothing to offer, networking is begging. You show up, smile, shake hands, pitch. And the people with real power, they smell weakness immediately. They don't respect it, they avoid it. Here's the truth. You cannot build influence by chasing others. You build influence by creating value. Before you hand a card, make your work undeniable. Before you ask for attention, earn attention. Build first. Skill, knowledge, proof, results. Be so good at what you do that people have no choice but to notice. The best network is not a room of strangers. It is your own portfolio of undeniable work. Think of it like a magnet. The more value you have, the more people are pulled toward you, not the other way around. When you focus on building, you create leverage. You don't need to ask for favors. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. Machiavelli's lesson is clear. A wise leader relies only on what is in his control. Make yourself necessary. Make yourself indispensable. Be the best editor, writer, strategist, or creator in your niche. Then people will come to you. Opportunities will chase you. Networking is for those who can't build. Building is for those who refuse to wait. Stop chasing the bees. Build the honey. Then watch the bees come to you. When they come back, if you follow the path, if you work silently, if you build while no one is watching, something strange happens. People return. Friends who ignored you, family who doubted you, ex-partners who left for someone more stable. They will suddenly appear, smiling, casual, claiming they always knew you would make it. Don't be fooled. They didn't. They weren't there in the empty room. They didn't watch you struggle at 2 a.m. They didn't fight for you when no one else did. This is your test. The old you, the one who wanted approval, will feel tempted. It whispers, let them back in, let them see you, let them celebrate with you. Do not do it. Be polite, be calm, keep your distance. You don't need to make a scene. You don't need to explain yourself. Your silence is enough. The castle belongs to the one who carried the stones. You carried them alone. This is your throne. Let them see it from the outside. They can admire it. They cannot touch it. This is the reward of zero support. You build everything yourself. You owe nothing to anyone. Your victory is yours and yours alone. And in that moment, you understand a truth few ever learn. Being alone taught you strength. Being ignored taught you focus. Being unsupported taught you independence. And now, even when they return, you are untouchable. You have learned the hardest lesson. Respect cannot be asked for. It must be earned. And you've earned it. When they come back, if you follow the path of zero support, silent work, and relentless focus, something strange eventually happens. People return, not at first, not while you are grinding alone, when the room is empty, when your nights are long and your shoulders are heavy. No, not then. First, the world ignores you. They watch you fade into the shadows and assume you will fail, because failure is the easy expectation. Most people never return. They stay on their comfortable side of life, judging, doubting, and forgetting. But if you are relentless, if you keep building, keep learning, keep moving while no one is watching, eventually the narrative begins to shift. You become undeniable. Your results speak louder than your explanations, and then, slowly, quietly, people start to notice. The friends who never called, the family members who questioned your choices, the ex-partners who left for someone they called safer. They reappear. They show up in your inbox, at events, in comments, at places you now occupy naturally because of your work. And they do what humans always do. They try to rewrite history. I always knew you would make it. I believed in you from the start. You've finally done it. I'm so proud of us. Notice the words. We, us. They want to step into a story they never helped write. They want a place next to the trophy they never lifted. They want to enjoy the warmth of success without enduring the fire it took to get there. The old you, the one who craved approval, who sought love and validation, will feel a pull. It whispers, let them in. Let them celebrate with you. Show them you were right all along. Accept the praise, enjoy the comfort. Do not do it. Not because you are cruel. Not because revenge is your goal, but because the lesson of zero support is this: your independence is your power. Your silence, your persistence, your ability to survive alone, that is what made you untouchable. To let them back in, even politely, is to dilute that power. Be calm, be polite if necessary, nod if they approach, smile if they compliment, but maintain the distance that you earned. You do not owe them access to your life, your time, or your success. Your castle belongs only to the one who carried the stones. You carried them alone. That throne, the one built with sweat, isolation, and relentless focus, belongs to you alone. And here is the most important truth. When they return, it is not a punishment or a slight. It is an opportunity. It is a chance to see clearly who truly matters, who genuinely supports growth, and who is simply enjoying proximity to power. You observe. You do not act on emotion. You let them see the fruits of your work without touching the process that created it. Their presence does not change your priorities. It only confirms your past choices. The beauty of this moment is that you no longer need approval. You no longer need applause. You no longer depend on anyone else's perception to validate your existence. That hunger, that craving has been replaced by competence, autonomy, and self-reliance. And when you operate from that place, even praise becomes irrelevant, because you already know your value. Being alone, unsupported, and ignored taught you lessons that no one else could. It taught you patience, resilience, and the art of silent mastery. It taught you to trust yourself when no one else did. And it taught you the hardest lesson of all. Respect cannot be given, it must be earned. And you earned it. Every hour of work when no one was watching, every night of doubt you endured alone, every setback you faced without help. That is why their return changes nothing, because you are no longer the person who needed them. You are the person who became unstoppable, untouchable, and unshakable. This is the power of zero support. This is the reward, not the applause, not the congratulations, but the deep, unshakable knowledge that you built yourself from nothing. And now, even when the world tries to step into your story, you remain sovereign, calm, and untouchable. The room may fill with people now, but you will never forget the silence that taught you everything. And the throne, that throne is yours, always. Most people will turn this off and seek comfort. You stayed. That empty chair beside you is not loneliness, it's a throne. Grow into it. Subscribe if you haven't. And if you want what cannot be said publicly, the deeper material lives beyond the join button. Most won't click. That's the point.